Well now, let's talk about something of immense value, something so precious, so unique that if you truly grasp its significance, it has the power to alter the very course of your days, your years, indeed, your entire life. I'm talking about you. Yes, you, the individual, the person listening right now. We often look outside ourselves for treasures, don't we? We chase the dollar, we seek the promotion, we long for the bigger house. And those things, well, they have their place. But I've observed that the greatest treasure, the most profound wealth you will ever possess, is the self. And with this possession comes a responsibility, a profound one. I call it personal stewardship, cultivating the self as a sacred trust. Now, stewardship, that's an interesting word, isn't it? It doesn't mean ownership in the way you own a car or a piece of furniture. You don't own yourself in that disposable sense. No, stewardship implies that you've been entrusted with something of incredible worth, something sacred, and your job, your fundamental human task, is to care for it, to nurture it, to help it grow and flourish. Think of it like this. Imagine being handed the keys to the most magnificent garden. A garden capable of producing the most extraordinary fruits, the most vibrant flowers, the most nourishing harvest. What would you do? Would you let it fall to weeds and ruin? Or would you get to work? You see, this self you've been given, your mind, your body, your spirit, your unique talents, it is that garden. It's a sacred trust. Why sacred? Because within you lies a potential so vast, so unique, that no one else on this planet possesses your particular combination of gifts. Isn't that an astonishing thought? So the big question, the one we all have to answer, is, what are you doing with this incredible endowment? Consider the alternative for a moment. It's easy, isn't it, to neglect this trust? It doesn't take much effort to let the mind go dull, to let the body fall into disrepair, to let the spirit wither. Just a little neglect each day, a missed opportunity to learn something new, an unhealthy meal chosen over a nourishing one, a compromise of your values, just this once. These little neglects, they add up. Like a small leak in a great ship, eventually it can sink the whole vessel. I've seen it. You've seen it. The person who had so much promise, so much potential, but somehow they let it all drift away. The uncultivated self. It's a tragedy, one of life's quiet sorrows. The field left fallow, producing nothing but what the wind blows in. But then there's the other side of the coin, the cultivated self. This is where the magic happens. This is where life takes on a new dimension of richness and reward. When you decide, truly decide, to take seriously this sacred trust, to become an active, diligent steward of your own being, well, the possibilities are limitless. Imagine that same garden, now tended with care. The soil is tilled, the seeds are sown, the weeds are pulled, the water is given. What happens? Life, abundance. A harvest that not only sustains you, but also has enough to share. That's the promise of personal stewardship. So, where do we begin this process of cultivation? Where do we focus our efforts as good stewards? First, let's talk about the mind. What an incredible instrument you possess between your ears. The human mind, capable of learning, reasoning, imagining, creating. But like any fine instrument, it must be tuned and played. Or, to use our garden analogy, it must be fed. What are you feeding your mind? This is a question I'd ask you to ponder seriously. Are you consuming a diet of mental junk food? The trivialities, the negativities, the distractions that are so readily available? Or are you nourishing your mind with good ideas, with knowledge, with the wisdom of the ages? Formal education, they say, will make you a living. That's true. But self-education, that will make you a fortune. And I'm not just talking about financial fortune, though that can be part of it. I'm talking about a richness of understanding, a depth of perspective that can transform your entire experience of life. Read the good books. Listen to the thoughtful voices. Engage in stimulating conversations. Guard the entry to your mind, because what you allow in there will surely shape the person you become and the life you create. It's the simple law of sowing and reaping applied to your mental landscape. Sow a thought, reap an action. Sow an action, reap a habit. Sow a habit, reap a character. Sow a character, reap a destiny. It all starts with what you feed your mind. Next, there's the body. Your physical self. Mr. Schaff, my great mentor, used to say something so simple, yet so profound. Take care of your body. It's the only place you have to live. Isn't that the truth? This magnificent vehicle that carries you through life, that allows you to experience this world, what kind of steward are you being to it? Now, I'm not talking about becoming a fanatical health nut. Unless that's your particular interest, I'm talking about basic, sensible care, the kind of care a good farmer gives his prized livestock. Good nutrition, regular movement, adequate rest. These aren't complicated formulas, are they? They are simple disciplines. Yet how easy it is to neglect them. And the consequences? Oh, they show up. Lack of energy, diminished vitality, an inability to fully engage with the opportunities life presents. But consider the alternative. When you treat your body with respect, when you give it what it needs, it repays you 1,000 times over. With energy, with resilience, with the sheer joy of feeling good. And with that vitality, you're better equipped to pursue your dreams, to serve others, to live fully. This, too, is a vital part of your sacred trust. Don't take your health for granted. Cultivate it. Then we come to something a bit more intangible, but perhaps the most important of all, your spirit and character. This is the very essence of who you are, your values, your principles, your integrity. This is the bedrock upon which a meaningful life is built. What are you becoming as a person? Are you cultivating honesty, discipline, compassion, courage? You see, what you get in life is important. We all want the rewards. But what you become in the process of achieving those rewards, that's far more important. Character isn't something you're born with fully formed. It's something you build, day by day, choice by choice. Every time you choose the harder right over the easier wrong, you lay another stone in the foundation of a strong character. Every time you act with integrity, when no one is watching, you strengthen that inner core. This cultivation of your inner self, your spirit, this is perhaps the most sacred aspect of your stewardship. For it is your character that will see you through the inevitable storms of life. It is your character that will determine the true quality of your existence. And what about your unique talents and abilities? Each of us, I believe, has been gifted with a unique set of talents. Some are obvious, some are hidden, waiting to be discovered. But they are there. Are you being a good steward of these gifts? Are you seeking them out? Are you developing them? Or are you letting them lie dormant, like buried treasure? The world needs your unique contribution. There's something you can do, some way you can serve, some value you can bring that no one else can do in quite the same way. But to do that, you must sharpen your skills. You must practice your craft. You must be willing to put in the effort to develop your talents. Remember the saying, don't wish it was easier, wish you were better. That's the call to cultivate your abilities. Find out what you do well, what brings you alive, and then dedicate yourself to becoming excellent at it. The joy of using your developed talents to make a difference, that's one of the great satisfactions in life. And finally, let's not forget the stewardship of your time and attention. These are two of your most precious, non-renewable resources. Each day you are given 24 hours, the same 24 hours as everyone else. The question is, how are you investing them? Are you allowing your time and attention to be frittered away on things that don't truly matter? Or are you directing them with intention towards your goals, your values, your growth? In this modern age, the battle for your attention is fierce. So many distractions, so many demands. It takes discipline to stay focused, to prioritize, to invest your attention wisely. But it's a discipline worth cultivating, because where your attention goes, your energy flows. And where your energy flows, your life grows. Learn to say no to the trivial, so you can say yes to the vital. This, too, is a key part of being a good steward of the self. So how do we engage in this ongoing process of cultivation? It comes down to a few simple yet powerful principles. The first is the law of sowing and reaping. We've touched on it already. You cannot sow thistles and expect to reap roses. You reap what you sow. But here's the rest of it. You also reap more than you sow. And you reap later than you sow. Every small discipline, every positive action you take in cultivating yourself is a seed planted. It may not bear fruit immediately, but be patient. Keep tending the garden. The harvest will come. And conversely, every small neglect is also a seed, and that too will bear its own bitter fruit in time. Success, as I've often said, is nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every day. Failure is simply a few errors in judgment repeated every day. The choice is yours. This brings us to the incredible power of choice and decision. You are not a creature of circumstance. You are a creature of decision. Every day, you make choices. Choices about what to think, what to eat, how to act, how to spend your time. These choices, seemingly small in the moment, are the tools by which you cultivate your sacred trust. Take responsibility for your choices. Understand that your current circumstances are largely the result of the choices you've made up to this point. And if you don't like your circumstances, make new choices. You're not a tree. You can move. You can change. And how do you know if your choices are leading you in the right direction? Through the discipline of reflection and review. Take time regularly to step back and look at your life. How are you doing with this stewardship? What's working? What's not? Are you on course? Or do you need to make some adjustments? A captain who never consults his charts or his compass is likely to end up on the rocks. Don't navigate your life that way. A little time spent in quiet reflection, perhaps with a journal, can be incredibly valuable. It allows you to learn from your experiences and to make course corrections along the way. Finally, understand the profound impact of your environment and associations. You cannot cultivate a beautiful garden if you're constantly allowing weeds to be sown by those around you, or if the soil itself is toxic. Surround yourself with people who lift you up, who challenge you to grow, who believe in your potential. Immerse yourself in books and ideas that nourish your mind and spirit. Be a guardian of your environment, because it will surely shape you. As they say, you become the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Choose those 5 people wisely. And why bother with all this? Why take on this responsibility of personal stewardship with such seriousness? What are the fruits of this diligent cultivation? Well, first and foremost, there's the profound sense of personal fulfillment and joy. There's a deep satisfaction that comes from knowing you are becoming the best version of yourself, that you are living up to your potential. It's not about perfection, mind you. It's about progress. It's about the journey of growth. Then, there's the greater impact and contribution you can make. As you grow, as you develop your talents, as you strengthen your character, your capacity to serve others, to make a difference in the world, expands exponentially. You become a more valuable person to your family, to your community, to your profession. And yes, there's the legacy you leave. Not just in material things, but in the person you became and the lives you touched. The example you set, that's a powerful legacy. The beauty of personal stewardship is that it has a ripple effect. When you work on yourself, you inspire others to do the same. Your light encourages others to let their own light shine. So, my friends, this concept of personal stewardship, cultivating the self as a sacred trust, it's not some grand, complicated philosophy. It's a simple, practical approach to living a richer, more meaningful life. It begins with the recognition that you have been entrusted with something incredibly precious: yourself. This is not a task you complete and then set aside. It's an ongoing journey, a lifelong commitment. But it's a joyful one. It's a rewarding one. Don't let another day go by without consciously considering how you are tending to this sacred trust. What one small thing can you do today to cultivate your mind, to care for your body, to strengthen your character, to develop your talents, to invest your time more wisely? The power is within you. The choice is yours. Take this responsibility seriously, but also with a sense of excitement and anticipation. For in the diligent cultivation of the self, you will discover not only who you are, but who you have the potential to become. And that, I assure you, is one of the greatest discoveries life has to offer. Go for it.